Maybe you'll see Aaron Rodgers there.
Maybe.
You think
he'll have some time.
Aaron Rodgers after Aaron Rodgers.
What's he doing? What's he do next?
I mean, you want to hear from him?
Yeah, let's hear.
All right, we got a little A-Raj, and obviously us being featured on his documentary.
You being featured on his documentary.
Yeah, that's a great point. Here was Rodgers talking about his future afterwards.
In your heart of hearts, do you think he'll be back with the Jets?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know, Rich. If I did, I don't know that I'd tell you. So I will say that I respect, but truthfully, I don't know. I'm looking forward to those conversations with Woody and Christopher and Jaime and Phil and anybody else. You know, it feels good to be able to do some of the things the last 5 or 6 weeks I know I was capable of doing, even at 40, 41. You know, either way, I won't be upset or offended, whatever they decide to do if they want to move on, if I still want to play. And if not, I'll let them know at some point if that's the case.
Would you consider going elsewhere if you wanted to play, or is that in your mind almost too much? You know, start all over again with new teams.
Well, I've done it once. Obviously, there's a lot of hypotheticals here. So, if I want to play, hypothetical number one. If they want to move on, hypothetical number two. Would I be willing to play for another team? Hypothetical number three. The answer is yes.
What an a-hole.
What do you mean?
I mean, 3 hypotheticals that quickly. I don't know, man.
Man just threw his 500th touchdown pass and then some.
Okay, I take it back.
Do whatever he wants.
I take it back.
Good for you, A-Raj. By the way, he didn't mention Jack or Brick when discussing who he was going to hear from or have a conversation with.
But there's a lot of hypotheticals there, so that might have been why you didn't hear about it. I mean, how you guys feel about it? I mean, because there are a lot of hypotheticals, but don't we feel like those have already played out?
It's over.
I've got a different perspective on it for this reason. All right. He is a year removed from an injury, a major injury. I think if he can still play, like he can still play at a decent level in this league, but he's going to have to allow someone else to trust someone else with the game plan and running the offense. Like he's going to have to allow that. I think if you look at the Jets and you look at what their offense has become this year, it was a lot of, I think, what he feels most comfortable doing, which has not led to them having success. So wherever he goes, he's got to go to a place where I feel like he trusts the play caller. He can trust what they're asking him to do. And he's open to that. Like he's open to wanting to learn something new. And that's what I think would be best if he wants to keep playing. But if he doesn't, because I do think there'll be suitors out there. I mean, take for example this. Joe Flacco's in his 17th season. 17th season. I just watched him go out there, still execute a game plan and everything else. And there was a desire for him this past year, coming off what he did with the Cleveland Browns the year prior. And I think there'll still be a desire for him after, watching his tape, watching what he does, watching how he kind of handles everything. I mean, there is a need for a lot of these guys who've done it successfully for a long time and still know how to play the game from the pocket, how to play the game the way a lot of coaches are trying to get these young quarterbacks to play. So I think there'll be a want for him, a need for him. It just comes down to if it's the circumstances that he wants to play under. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I think he's to that point where he'll have some opportunities, but it might be in situations where he's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to deal with that.
I just don't know who would want to bring that type of attention into their organization at this point. Is the risk worth the reward with bringing him in?
I got 2 spots. The Giants or the Titans in a mentor role.
I mean, I guess it can't hurt with the Titans. I think the Giants, it's that media blitz will be too crucial. Too crucial, man. I don't think that one's worth it.
Okay, let me pose this question. If you bring him in, what message is that sending to your fan base and to the rest of the NFL? Because my initial thought is we're bringing him in because we feel like we can win now. Does that? I mean, he's a veteran guy. You're limited in the amount of time you have with him. So if you're bringing him in as your starting quarterback, you're saying we feel like we can win now. Is that fair to say that?
Don't you think you're rolling the dice on that statement at this point, though?
Maybe based on what we saw this year,
yes.
but otherwise, what statement are you making then?
Yeah, I mean that is the statement that it's a logical It's a logical statement to say that that's what it is they're going for. But what's the reality of it is what I'm wondering. Like, yes, that is the statement. That could be the only play. That could be the only reason why they would make that decision. But with that being said, okay, is that still with Dayball? Or is that a new head coach? And if it's with Dayball, is that the end? Like, it doesn't work with Aaron Rodgers, that's the end. Then you blow it up, you start over. If it's with a new head coach, how do you start your new tenure with that strong of a personality being one of the quarterbacks in your quarterback room? Which one makes it work?
I think he's walking away. Like, I just the more that he's talked about it, I think getting to 500 was where. Well, what are you laughing at? That's so funny.
Hold on. Here's what I need to do.
What's that?
I'll mute my mic. All right. But I'm sorry. I started laughing because right when you started talking, my first thought was the documentary. And I thought, oh, he's just saying this because he knows if he comes back and there's like a second round of this Enigma show or something, that sound's going to be played as
that's
part
exactly
of it.
What
So
it is.
hold on.
That's exactly what it is.
Let me mute my mic because I don't want to laugh. But I did feel like this take is somewhat quasi like I was on the first, I was the sound for the first Enigma.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, hold on.
Right.
So let me mute it. I'm going to mute it.
Let me get it correct.
Hold on. Let me turn my mic
hold on.
off, too.
Can I get a sip of coffee so I can at least do it right?
All right, let us know. Give us a countdown. Like, give us a 3 count when you're ready. Come on, give us a 3 count.
Right. 3, 2, 1. Aaron Rodgers has got a difficult decision to make, and I think he's walking away. I think he's proven himself. I don't think there's anything left to give to the NFL, and I think he's going to walk away in the 500 club and call it a career. All right. If you want, just cut that, Lee,
right,
and then when Netflix calls,
when
Netflix calls, just let them know. Let them know in advance they can use that one.
Well done. Jonas Cowherd on the take. Well done.
Hey, careful.
Oh yeah.
Careful.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Jonas Knox. My bad. Yep. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Hey, man.
My bad. You stupid.
Yeah. Well, look.
You ain't lying. Stupid.
I'm not. Hey.
What?
Oh boy. Well, look. I think that the only 2 options I could see in a mentor role, New York. He wants to stay local because he just built a place there, and I think he's got a place in Nashville, doesn't he? Like I thought that was one of the.
I think he's got multiple homes, man.
Yeah.
So,
so
the whole he just built a home. Okay, he's fine. Like he'll be able to sell it probably for a nice profit. So,
by the way, they were showing his career.
Yeah.
So over 500 touchdowns. I think he's got 116 interceptions in his career.
Yeah.
Like, he's been unbelievable, man. And for whatever reason, the conversations surrounding him are all about the other stuff. But he's been fantastic. And he has gotten better and better throughout the course of this year. Like, Kirk Cousins felt like he was heading in the wrong direction. Rodgers felt like, he at least started to figure some things out, especially down the back end of the season. So,
gosh.
Maybe he'll get
keeping that door open, huh?
What do you mean? I'm just saying, if he wanted to play.
Okay. Let's just review it. He threw for almost 4,000 yards, 3,897 yards, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
Yeah. That's good.
Like,
those are good numbers.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's good numbers.
And he's coming off an Achilles.
In a awful situation where there was coaching turnover.
Which we also found out had nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of people who need to apologize because they did chalk up the fact that, well, this is him. He's the one behind the scenes. He's the one who's doing it, all that.
A lot of people. I was involved in that, I think. I mean, I don't make accusations, but I was curious as to how much he may have played a part in it. So I didn't do anything.
You never accused him.
No,
like,
I never accused.
Yeah, being curious is one thing. Like, you never accused him.
But
there were people though who did accuse him.
They did.
So
they did. But I mean, I still think that those narratives will follow him to the next place, and I think it makes it that much more difficult to pull him in. Because if he wasn't, in my estimation, if he wasn't such a polarizing figure, or if he wasn't such a figure that just, kind of pulls the attention your way.
If he wasn't such an enigma.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're really trying to get on the show again,
What
aren't
are you talking about?
That's exactly right.
Yeah.